The reviews just keep on getting worse for Disney as its latest film, Strange World, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, tanks at the box office. Not only that, but the movie has also become a point of contention for fans who think Disney is trying to push an agenda with its story. But how true is that? Stay tuned to find out all about it in this video. First, why did the film tank in numbers? Nobody thought that Jake Gyllenhaal would tank.
I spent, 5 months, maybe a year making a movie with them in person.
And on such an important weekend during Thanksgiving. But it's happening. The film, which was released on November 23rd, has officially been registered to receive Disney's worst openings, with an expected loss of $100 million. Well, that sucks. And when we say no one thought this would happen, we're right. Predictions before its premiere showed that it was supposed to earn about $30 to $40 million in its first 5 days. Instead, it's gone slightly up to $18.6 million, making it one of Disney's worst this year. What's worse is that it's not even a surprise. Not only has Disney been churning out mediocre content, but it's also been constantly receiving backlash from fans and streamers across the world. Why? We'll come to that in a bit. As for Strange World, starring Dennis Quaid, Jaboukie Young-White, Gabrielle Union, and Lucy Liu alongside Jake himself, the future seems bleak as it's barely able to meet its opening numbers, let alone the gross $360 million it's supposed to reach to break even. Guess people really don't want to see a family of explorers find their calling in a new mysterious land, do they? Moving on, here are all the reactions it has received, currently ranking at 4.7 out of 10 on IMDb.
Proudly presents Strange World, a new motion picture event. Brace yourself!
The film isn't winning many audiences, and even though the 74% it boasts on Rotten Tomatoes is acceptable enough, it's really not the most ideal scenario Disney was expecting for a relatively progressive film. But where there are these rankings on one side, the other side is audience reviews, and they are rough. Not only are viewers calling it a snooze fest, but people are also complaining that the movie's pushing a political agenda onto their kids by making its main character gay. Well, now that's a reach, but that's what they're saying. I bet if you Googled the film right now, you'd find 10 reviews talking about how the movie was so boring, visually and story-wise, that people fell asleep. Others say that the dialogue in the film is too adult-focused and becomes a little dry for the younger lot in the theaters. And then, there are the haters who just can't get over the main character's orientation. So, just because the guy's gay makes the movie automatically the worst thing to exist? To the viewers, sure. But that's not the only reason the film's receiving such a bad rep. Let's also not forget the Twitter hate for the movie. We have to say that searcher Clade needs to find safe shelter. Because if the movie's Google reviews are bad, you won't even believe what people are saying on Twitter. While some people are simply asking when Disney will learn from its mistakes, others are taking up the platform to say how both of Disney's releases, Wakanda Forever and Strange World, overpromised but underperformed. Hey now, no need to drag Black Panther into all of this. And even if Strange World did overpromise, let's not forget that it isn't the film that's angering people, but actually the character who's a little too progressive for people's tastes. And if you still don't believe us, check out this tweet from End Wokeness. The account calls out the film on having a gay lead, a biracial couple, a climate change metaphor, and a disabled dog. According to them, it's a surefire formula to go broke. Oh, and the funniest review of all comes from Patrick Bet David, whose kid allegedly said, "I have no desire to watch this movie." What 10-year-old is that polite when hating on a film? Safe to say, people are not happy about the orientation of the film's characters, and they're not being subtle about it at all. Here's another reason why the parents hate it. We'll let you guess. And yes, you're right, it's the lead character again. As we said earlier, searcher Clade, in his attempt to discover a strange world,
the only Jaeger. Dad?
may have stumbled into a stranger place where he's not accepted at all. Which is sad, because isn't that representation what we need? The parents who've watched the film say no, and in big capital letters no less, because they've literally been review bombing all platforms, saying that if they had to teach their kids about and preferences, they do it at home and not at the movies. Another viewer said that the movie was trying to push a political agenda among a younger audience, so they could rally to Disney's cause. If you'd remember, even Lightyear got busted by such reviews after the same kiss scene that caused major outrage among people. This just makes us wonder, what is it about these characters that make people so angry? Also, wait up, so is the movie really that bad? Okay, so all the weird hate for its characters aside, the movie itself is fine-ish. We may not say it's the best, but we also won't call it the worst thing Disney has produced this year. Let's just say that it wouldn't make the cut if we had to rank the studio's top animated films. Not because of the characters, no. It's also not the fact that people are afraid to go to the theaters for fear of contracting COVID COVID or its various variants. Let us remind you Minions, The Rise of Gru, was another animated movie that was released this year and grossed $939 million worldwide. But on the other hand, Pixar's Lightyear also tanked, making us ask the question, has Disney lost its animated touch? It's very possible. First things first, Strange World itself is a pretty mediocre movie. Not that it's not visually fun. Disney has long been at the top of family-friendly cartoons and films. In fact, we could even call the theme its legacy. But here, the issue wasn't just the movie or its story, but also Disney's own lack of marketing. Tell us, did you come across the movie's trailer anywhere in theaters on the internet? We didn't. This makes us ask, has the existence of Disney Plus and the convenience of having all the studio's films readily available made its audience too complacent to even think of spending their money on tickets? Or is it the bad to worse quality of its recent films that's caused all the drama? Now, let's admit it, 2022 has been a bad year for Disney. In a way, the studio's entire content plan has become part of a strange world that even we can't justify. And no, we're not talking about Lightyear or this film only. You remember the mess Multiverse of Madness was, don't you? Not that it was a bad film. It did pretty well for itself if you asked us. But was it on the same wavelength as its previous Marvel classics? Nah. Neither was Thor Love and Thunder, nor Pinocchio. Also, let's face it, the Star Wars franchise isn't doing any good either. So, why is it happening? Well, part of it is the management. People blame former CEO Bob Chapek and his distribution czar, Kareem Daniel, for their strategies and plans driving Disney's revenues to the ground. That's why Bob Iger, the formerly retired CEO of the company, is back to take the reins from Chapek. But will it be able to fix the bigger problems Disney faces with the representation of the previously underrepresented in its films? Lastly, what about LGBTQ rep in animated film?
Mom, please don't make it weird.
Moms can't be weird.
Apologies that my dad is so...
Call it a marketing lapse or a public rejection, but the fact remains that Disney really needs to work on adding queer characters to its mainstream stories. And its fans need to chill out and let some diverse cast and characters take center stage. Because let's be honest, if the main character in this film had been straight, we bet the movie wouldn't have received such a bad rep. But just because its main character is gay, it's suddenly the worst movie of the year? A lot of fans have also said that adding minor LGBT moments in big budget films is also something that Disney needs to move on from. Maybe it's time they actually invested in a big budget, mainstream film with proper representation and diversity. The fact is, we don't know if even that'll be accepted or not, because parents and viewers who are review bombing the movie are still going to be there when those films come out. But hey, if Disney tries and succeeds at some point, isn't that a win-win for everyone? So let's wait to see if it happens. Until then, go check out Strange World, only for its representation, if not its story or anything else. That's a wrap for this video. What's your take on the reaction Strange World is receiving? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.